Edification. Alright, all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Alright, once again, like yesterday night, like there was this, like, I overheard something on this, like, it was like some sort of, like, Western comedy or whatever. And the name of it was, like, Ballou. Like, it came out in, like, 1965. It's supposed to be, like, this comedy, like, Western, like, musical or whatever. Alright, but, like, there was, like, one scene in, like, particular, that, it was just, like, this, like, conversation, like, I guess, like, they were, like, talking about, like, this one guy, like, and they were saying, like, this guy's talks about how, like, the Native Americans are the lost tribes of Israel and all that, and that, I don't know, like, that, like, obviously, like, struck a nerve and all that, but, like, that's, like, as far as, like, like, the tribe of Gad, like, Northern Kingdom, and all that, and that, like, theory among scholars, like, going around, like, that's not something that, like, that's not something that started as far as, like, this, like, truth and everything, as far as, like, like Elijah, like, Abba Bivens and all that. Alright, so, like, they had those, like, typed of, like, documents, and then they, like, broke it down, like, through, like, prophecy and all that. Alright, and, like, Elder, like, Ariah, like, he's the one who, like, broke down, like, all, like, the tribes as far as, like, them. Alright, but, like, they had, there's, like, a lot of, like, documentation, a lot of scholars that, that believe that, like, the Latinos and Native Americans were, like, Israelites. Alright, like, starting with, people like, James Adair, like, scholars like, Ivan Van Sertima, like, do type, like, those types of, like, works, like, with his, African presence in, like, early America, and things along that line, and then, just, like, even, like, just, like, little things when you go into, like, certain, like, books and documents, like, talking about, like, there was this one book I read called, like, The Plains Indians, where, they said that, like, the Indians, like the Native Americans, they, their lifestyle is kind of like a Middle Eastern lifestyle. Like, let's see. I'm gonna get Genesis. Alright, Genesis 25 and 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Alright, and so, like, like a TP, it's kind of like, it's kind of like that, like a communal, like, village of, like, huts and things like that. Or, alright, just, like, really, it's like a really, like, simple, like, that, like a teepee, it's kind of like a tabernacle or whatever. Alright, but, like, that was, like, one hint. Alright, and even in that book, like, right, they, talked about how, like, one of their, like, tour guides, like, had, like, the Mitri, the headband, and things like that. Alright, there's, like, books talking about how they have, like, the fringes and all that. Like, just, like, amongst, like, other things. Alright, but, alright, the other scripture I'm gonna get. Alright. Okay. Alright, Second Ezra's. Alright, Second Ezra's 13 and 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him. Or that, alright, that peaceable multitude. Alright, in that vision he was talking about, like, Israelites, where that, it's like that peaceable, like, multitude. Whenever, like, the scriptures talk about, like certain hints like a just man, a peaceable multitude, a righteous man. All right, that's talking about like Israelites. All right, because of that like that portion of like the spirit that like he put on us. All right, verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, or the king, whom Salmanaser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. All right, so during like the Assyrian like captivity, that's when like the northern kingdom, that's interchangeable with Samaria. All right, that's when they were like moved out of that land. All right, and then like different like different heathen nations like like the Cushites. Like that's why like the Ethiopians believe they're one of the 12 tribes of Israel, or and so on and so forth. Like that that term like Sephardic Jews and shit like that. All right, that's because of like that time in history. All right, 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. So they came, or like the Tigris and Euphrates, they went through that, and then went down. There's a natural current like through like down through like the southern part of Africa, and then then like further west through like North and South America. There's a natural current and all that. All right, and so and then like the name of the place was for those of you who don't know, like Arsareth, a land where mankind like never dwelt. Or and even even when like this like so-called history and all that, like when you study those like civilizations, it's always like early like AD and all that. It's not as they don't give you like dates, or like when you're studying like places like Mesopotamia, like in those like civilizations like Egypt and all that, it's like the times and the dates are a lot further than like whenever you're dealing with civilizations on the like Western like hemisphere, which is another hint. But like as far as like like there's a whole bunch of like we always go into all this like documentation, and it's broken down through like the portion of faith as well as like the scriptures and all that. All right, but because like you have like a lot of like Israelite groups that say that only so-called black people are Israelites, or and they're going off, they're unlearned basically, or as far as like all this like information that's been out here. All right, but like with that, I want to say shalom.